Hello, welcome to this second part of my video going through your comments of what songs you would like to see Elton sing at his final concert. I posted my fantasy set list and you have sent in your suggestions as well. I've already made one video of this. In the second video, I'm going to concentrate on two set lists that have been sent in by viewers. The first one is from Turner Young. Now this is a full list of 25 songs, some really inspired choices. I'm very grateful for the time people have given to send all this in, and there's still time if you want to add your comments below and put your suggestions in. Now Turner Young is starting their concert with Indian Sunset. What an inspired choice. Fantastic song from Madman, of course. Very dramatic opening. I would love to see that in there. The Captain and the Kid is next on Turner's selection. Again, that's reminiscing about the early days of songwriting. Now, an interesting choice for number 3. Now you see here that Turner's chosen Just Like Noah's Ark for the third track. This is from The Captain and the Kid. Interesting choice, that one. I wouldn't have said it was the best song from that album, but I admire your choice going to The Captain and the Kid. Now, number 4 is, of course, a beautiful song from Empty Sky. It's Me That You Need. Really early evidence that Elton was able to write really high quality ballads, and that's a lovely song. Now after that, we're starting to see a lot of support for The Union. That's Elton's album he did with Leon Russell. The more I listen to that album, the more I like the tracks, and Turner's gone for a couple of tracks from that. The first one would be Gone to Shiloh, which Turner once done as a solo by Elton. And later on we see Hey Ahab, which is one of my favourite tracks. It's a real rocker, that one, a very exciting song, and I'm sure the crowd would be on their feet for that one. Now then, track number 6 in this fantasy set list is a real surprise. Turner has chosen Victim of Love. In brackets, they've written, yes, you heard that right. Yeah, Victim of Love, as we know, was not Elton's greatest album, but probably Victim of Love, the title track, is the best one from that. And why not? A bit of disco, a bit of fun. It's a fairly pleasant song, and maybe Elton should include something from some of his not so successful recordings. After that, we've got Ego, which was kind of that mystery track from that late 70s, early 80s time, followed by This Town from Ice on Fire. A really catchy bass part to that one. I listened to that again today, and I do like the Ice on Fire album, I have to say. Now, just working up to the intermission on this list, we've got the Fox title track, which I think is okay-ish, followed by Gotta Get a Meal Ticket from Captain Fantastic. I think this is one of the best songs from that album, along with Someone Saved My Life and We All Fall in Love. Those would probably be the 3 standout tracks for me on that, so good choice. Then Turner is having an intermission, fair enough. Starting the second half with Grow Some Funk of Your Own. This is the only mention of this track. It's quite a fun track from a not very good album. I think Rock of the West is a few decent things on it, but overall a bit disappointing, I thought. Then we've got Hey Ahab, followed by Home Again from The Diving Board. Good, late, strong ballad, that one. Blessed is next, which I had in my selection, a beautiful song, Blessed, followed by Wonderful Crazy Night, the title track from Elton's most recent album, 2016. I love this track, along with Looking Up, both really good upbeat tracks. Now, number 16 is an interesting choice, You're So Static from Caribou. I'm going to be reviewing that album soon, along with Ticking, which was the next choice. Now, we're getting towards the end of Turner's set list here. The last 3 are Your Sister Can't Twist, but She Can Rock and Roll from Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, which is quite fun live, I would imagine. Then Dan Dare. That's a bit of a left field choice from Rock of the West is. I'm not sure about that track, although I would like to see it done live. That would be interesting, actually. The last track that Turner has chosen before the encore is the Peerless Skyline Pigeon. I reckon that is one of Elton's top 5 songs ever. Actually, it's so beautiful and it's so moving. Now, in the encore, what are we getting? We're getting Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding, fair enough. We're getting A Song for You, which is a song by Leon Russell, which Elton has sung live. In fact, he sang it with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra, I seem to remember, as kind of a thank you to Leon Russell for his inspiration. Really nice gesture, that. I like that. Then Madman Across the Water. No arguments from me with that great song. Then, this is a long encore, Burn Down the Mission, and a combined finale with Rocket Man and Your Song. Okay, we could listen to those again, couldn't we? So thank you very much, Turner, for sending in that set list. I will list some of these underneath so you can peruse them at your pleasure and send in further comments if you want to. Now, finally, I want to go through a list that's been sent in by Mark Van Praet. I hope I've pronounced your name correctly, Mark, but thanks very much for this. He's also sent in some comments about how the concert should be organised and why he's chosen some of these songs. So let's have a look and see how he's starting his concert. Well, he's got Elton and the Band coming on stage at the start, opening with Made in England. Well, Elton was made in England, and this is a great rocky start, isn't it? Followed by Better Off Dead from Captain Fantastic. That keeps up the pace. And here's another vote for My Quicksand. People seem to like that song. I thought it was the weakest one on the album, but fair enough. Lots of people seem to like that. It's moody, it's dark, and it's weird. Then Emily from The One. Not a great song for me, that one, but I can see how some people would like that one. Grey Seal from Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Yeah, that's a really good rocker, isn't it? Interesting song, that. Mellow, which is from Honky Chateau. Lovely early song, that. And then I really like what he's chosen next. The 2 versions of Mona Lisa's. The first one from Honky Chateau, and the second one, which appeared on his much later album. And I'm going to say it's The One, but have I got that right? I'm not sure. Sorry, I'm going to have to check that one. But it was a really upbeat one. They don't really fit together as melodies, but they do have this common theme. So that's going to work well. And then When Love Is Dying, he's chosen next, which is another one from The Union. People really seem to like that album, and I've got to agree. I think it was a really good combined effort, that, between Elton and Leon Russell. And look at the next choice, one of my favourite songs, I Feel Like a Bullet in the Gun of Robert Ford. The standout track from Rock of the West is Without Doubt. It goes very high, that one, I have to say. Maybe Elton could do a slightly modified version of that, but a wonderful song. Well, Mark's closing that first half with We All Fall in Love Sometimes and Curtains. Those work really well together. And he says, closing out the first act with this duo of incredible songs. Well, I'm absolutely with you there. So that was Elton and the Band. Now, for his second act, he brings on a full orchestra and choir. So this is going to be a really powerful production, isn't it? And he opens with Philadelphia Freedom. Well, wonderful song, and that was in my choice. Followed by Skyline Pigeon. Imagine that, the piano backed by strings. That's going to be really moving. Now, his next choice is from Tumbleweed, My Father's Gun, another wonderful early song. He says he's a sucker for majestic, long outros. That one does go on quite a lot, doesn't it? A bit like Curtains, actually. Followed by Indian Sunset and Gone to Shiloh. That's from The Union as well. Somebody else picked that. Obviously a popular choice, that. Then Tonight from Blue Moves. This, of course, was recorded by George Michael as well, wasn't it, that song? Very good one for the orchestra. And then One Horse Town, also Blue Moves. I like that song. That would work well with the orchestra as well, wouldn't it? Now, here's a bit of a left field choice. Belfast from the Made in England album. Nobody else has mentioned that, and it's apparently never been performed live, according to Mark. Well, let's put that to rights, shall we, and have that in the final concert. Legal Boys is next. That's a good song. Really like that. followed by Carla Etude, a wonderful instrumental also from Blue Moves. I'm a big fan of that album, actually. The more I listen to that, the more I like it, actually. Then a wonderful song, I keep saying wonderful, don't I? But Blues for Baby and Me from Don't Shoot Me. This is one of those, it's a really slow song, but you never get bored with it because it feels so good. There's some wonderful harmonies in it. And the other one from there, of course, is High Flying Bird, which also works really well. Mark's closing the second half with Burn Down the Mission. That's going to go really well, isn't it? Now, let's look at his encore. Don't Go Breaking My Heart with Kiki D. So Kiki D comes on. They do that great pop song from 1976, I think, wasn't it? We can still see the video in our heads, can't we, of the two of them dressed up singing in the studio that. Then Mark's putting in Step Into Christmas. Well, that will work in some parts of the year, won't it? And his final song, can you guess? It's been mentioned before, but it's not a greatest hits one. He's going for All That I'm Allowed. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. And again, a couple of people have suggested that song as a possible closer. So Elton, if you're watching, you may want to think about that one as a slightly quirky closer to your final concert. Anyway, many thanks to all of you who took time to write in with your suggestions. I've really enjoyed going through those. I've discovered a couple of songs which I didn't even know about before, and I've also revisited some songs which I haven't heard for quite a long time. So thanks for that. Look out for my next video, which is going to be a review of the Caribou album. See you soon. Don't forget, we're still standing. So a quick addendum here. First, a correction. Mona Lisa's and Manhattan's Part 2 appeared, of course, on Reg Strikes Back and not the one as I said earlier. Right, since I've finished off that video, I've had another set list come in. So I just want to go through this one before I finish. And this is from my good friend Gelito, and I do hope I pronounced that correctly. But Gelito has sent in another 25 song suggestions for Elton's final concert. Let's just have a look and see what's being suggested here. Well, Galito has divided the concert up into parts with some notes as well. So we're having a funky and joyful mood at the start. Well, fairly joyful, I suppose. Funeral for a Friend and Love Lies Bleeding. That's how I started my concert. Someone Saved My Life. And I love this choice for track number 3, Crazy Water. Now, Crazy Water, of course, is from the Blue Moves album. Really exciting track, this one, about sailors gone to sea, coming back from the deep. Great rhythm to it as well, and I'd really like to see this one performed live. That's followed by I'm Still Standing. Then we've got a kind of more downbeat section, Shine On Through, which I chose in my selection, Little Genie, Elton's song from the Fox, a wonderful song, underperformed, very much so, that one. And then Gone to Shiloh from The Union. And Galito's closing the first half with Don't Go Breaking My Heart. And here's another rare choice, Billy Bones and the White Bird. This comes from Rock of the Westies. Has anybody ever heard this one live? I certainly haven't. Anyway, it's a bit of an unusual choice. Perhaps not my favourite from that album, but I'd like to hear Elton perform this one and see how it goes. That's the end of the first half. Well, I've got a very rousing start to the second act with A Bitch's Back, and then got to get a meal ticket from Captain Fantastic. I think one of the best tracks from that album, actually, followed by Give Me the Love. Now, this is from 21 at 33, I think, and that's one that can go on for quite a long time. Nice upbeat song, that. As Galito says, fast songs and rhythm to enjoy. So now there's a change in the mood. So his fantasy list continues with Part-Time Love from A Single Man. I love that track. It's a bit of a cheesy single, but it's just a really enjoyable song. Then Sleeping with the Past. Now, there's a real curveball been thrown me here, because Galito's chosen a song called Dancing in the End Zone. Now, when you look up this song, it appears to come from Sleeping with the Past, but it's not on the original CD. So the question is, where's that come from? Is it a B-side? or is it possibly sounds a little bit like Wrap It Up, doesn't it? That one is a new track to me, so I'm going to have to review that in one of my separate videos. But thank you for suggesting that, because I always love to find out about new tracks that I've never heard before. Some of them are buried on bonus tracks or B-sides or compilations. So that's a nice one to put in there. Now, next one is Reverie. This one is a short instrumental from a single man, very pleasant and thoughtful, and that rolls into Empty Garden, the tribute to John Lennon. Lots of people enjoy that track. I've had loads of nominations for that one. So Galito's little list here, big list rather, is coming to an end with Blue Eyes, Come Down in Time. That is one of my most favourite Elton John songs. Fantastic song, that. Sartorial Eloquence, again, I won't argue with that at all. That's a fine song, much underrated, I think. And then number 22 is You Can Make History Young Again. Now, this is a song I only discovered this week because of Galito's list. I've since watched that a few times on YouTube, and I'm really glad I've discovered that. I'm going to review that separately as well. So thank you for that. Now, the encore, he's got three familiar ones: Don't Let the Sun Go Down, Crocodile Rock, and Your Song. Again, standard classics. Everybody's going to enjoy that. Nice little suggestion at the end that Galito's put in here. The idea would be to have the band play Your Song and the fans to sing the song to Elton as a last goodbye from us to him. What a great idea. I'm sure most of us know the lyrics to Your Song inside out, and Elton could just listen there and he could hear what impact he's had on modern music culture, because that song is ingrained in us now. It's been covered so many times, and as we all know, it's going to last forever, hopefully. So thank you so much for that list. If you've got a list and you're watching, please keep sending them in. If I get enough, I'll do another video. But this idea of the fantasy concert is going to keep going until we get a new concert from Elton, and then I will have another look and see if he's changed his set list. Maybe he's been watching these videos, just relaxing at home there, watching these videos, and maybe picked up a few ideas. Okay, so I'm going to say farewell again, and we're still standing. See you next time. A quick correction: Carla Etude is, of course, from the Fox, not Blue Moves.